Hello everyone, welcome back to the HCW Podcast. On this show, we will be covering AEW Dynamite, no Rampage, that is on our B-Show review, Smackdown and Raw. Stay tuned, roll intro.
HCW Reviews.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the HCW Podcast. My name is RGX. Joined as always by RateWrestle and Frozzy. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, all good, mate. Just looking forward to this 4-day weekend I found myself, so we can enjoy Clash over the weekend.
I've still got a little half day to do tomorrow, but yeah, that'll be me shortly. How about yourself, Rate?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. I'm doing all of the overtime at work in Kingland myself. But yeah, Clash this weekend, so that should be well worth this.
Absolutely. We've just got 24 hours of work life to get through, and then it is Clash weekend.
Yes.
So we'll waste no more of your time. Just make you aware though that NXT and Rampage won't be on this show. They are on our new sister show called The B-Show Show. It is a working title. If you can think of anything better, let us know in the comments or on Twitter. Always open to suggestions. But
It's very similar to the Big Show. That's what made me laugh.
It was supposed to be like a little kind of nod to that, but yeah, it is very much a working title. We just wanted to get the first episode out before the main show. So we'll get things kicked off with the Smackdown review. Take it away, Ray.
Wonderful. So Smackdown, I don't remember any of this without reading my notes, so this will be fun. So yeah, we started off with good old Papi Corbin versus Ricochet, which was a great match. The original time I saw it, like it was 2-3 weeks ago, wasn't it? Very good match. So it was pretty much like Ricochet was outpacing Corbin for a lot of it. He did a cool spot where he landed on the second rope from outside, which was very cool to see. Then there was like Corbin started doing like power moves, like gorilla press slams and stuff like that, which he was just pulling out of the locker. I've not seen him do that ever. It started becoming like a bit back and forth. There was a few near falls from both guys, and then Ricochet at the end picked up the win with the shooting star press. It wasn't as good as the match they had previously, but I rated 2 3/4. It was still a good match.
Yeah.
They set the bar high the first time, didn't they?
Yeah. And it's not like a match you'd expect to want to see again, so it's kind of like, even though it was a decent match, you didn't want to get it run back. And then this was followed by McAfee just trashing Corbin with the, I'm going to call it the Monday Night Football flipping screen, that's what I know it as, completely trashing him. Which is always fun, because, I'd be happy to see that match again, McAfee versus Corbin.
Yeah.
This was followed by a backstage segment with the meeting we all wanted, which was the Profits and the Hit Row. They've got the smoke, money. That was the whole segment for me. That I don't know if anyone wants to add that in.
No, I pretty much describes it.
Yeah. Then they had like a Drew Redemption package, pretty much going like they're hyping obviously the main event, so they're kind of built around his career.
So
that was very well done.
Yeah, they also released a really cool video on Twitter, through BT Sport, like him and his missus like packing their bag to head home. It's really well done. I liked it.
Yeah,
the thing WWE do is they always do a good video package.
Well, have you seen the one they've done with Damien Priest with the Welsh family?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
It's absolutely class.
And they did like a 10-minute short of it as well, where it's just him standing on like a sheep pen going, "Rise for the Judgment Day."
Class.
Oh, brilliant.
It undercuts their serious tone slightly, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
so I liked it. But yeah, following from that, we had Cross, TikTok. That's that promo. This was followed by the 4-way tag match. The exact words are written here. I don't even know who was in this tag match. It just written, "This happened." Half a star. Not nothing actually happened in that match. Then Sheamus came down to the ring. He was discussing that he wants to be the ultimate Grand Slam winner. This was followed by, obviously, Gunther coming down to go, what the hell's going on with this? He respects Sheamus. Then Sheamus out of nowhere said, we're going to have banger after banger. Yeah. And again, Gunther, yeah, he respects him, but they're not the same. He's going to bring the violence at Clash, which I expect to see. And then out of nowhere, they do the face-to-face, and Butch and Ludwig are just absolutely battering each other. They made Ludwig look very good in this, by the way. He took out Rich Holland, and then he nearly took out Pete Dunne as well.
I remember they gave Ludwig a pinfall victory over Nakamura a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but he was took out 2 people on his own. Just like, well, Gunther's just staring, and then eventually they both grabbed to stop the stare down. Sonya and Natalia are backstage, and then what I liked about this, you could see Nikki Ash and Doudrop arguing about the tag loss they just had, which was pretty fun to see in the background. Like, they didn't mention much of it, and obviously they were just hyping to have this match with Natalia and Deville versus Raquel and Aaliyah. Sammy and the Usos up next, which is always the best part of SmackDown, no matter what it is. So Sammy was still hyping that he would have won, but then Jay was like, but you still lost. And then he was going, but I want to speak to Reigns, and then out of nowhere, Reigns actually said, oh, you can hear Sammy? And then he actually invites him in, and Sammy's just like, yeah. Invited in. Yeah.
Right, he absolutely broke Jay. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
He got Roman a bit as well. It was so good.
Yeah.
So Reigns said that he wants Sammy to redeem himself after the loss. Obviously, he lost, but he did redeem himself by protecting Reigns from the Claymore kick.
Mm-hmm.
And he appreciates that. And then he wants him to absolutely smash Drew tonight, basically, to make the Tribal Chief's job easier. This was followed by Nat and Sonya versus Raquel and Aaliyah. There was a cool driver outside. The commentary was the best part of this, was Bailey, I'm going to be honest. That was the best part of the match. Then they just made Raquel look too strong, and I don't like it. She beat Natalia and Sonya Deville by herself. Like, it's just too strong, that is, for me. Like, because if she can beat them, she might as well just be champion. She's beating people by herself. Why is she in a tag match for a tag title? And that was the end of that. And I rate that 1.5 stars because I didn't really enjoy it, I'm going to be honest as well. It's just a bit meh. We had Triple M backstage. We were all looking forward to that. So they're doing the fashion shoot. Hit Rose Bus was playing Hit Row music. Los Lotharios came in, and they're going to spray paint the van because that's a thing. Followed up by the New Day in the ring. Xavier's in a wheelchair. They were hinting at the New Day may be done, which everyone was a bit sad about. Then the Vikings came down, kind of like, we're going to attack you again. And then out of nowhere, Xavier Wood rises out of the wheelchair, and he has 2 kendo sticks. Because he summons them like Charlotte. And then they just wail on the Viking Raiders.
I've never been a fan of the face, like, feigning injury, especially if they're in a wheelchair, like, faking it. Like, it's one thing a heel doing it for the heat. I don't like a face doing that.
I do understand it. I didn't care that much. What I'm trying to argue is, but I'm not that fussed.
It's just trying to outsmart a heel.
Yeah.
I get it, but yeah, I understand what you're saying at the same time.
Yeah. This was followed by Jay saying to Sami Zayn, and he needs to level up because that's happening. So Zayn versus Drew, definitely the match of the night. It was a lot more back and forth than I expected, I'm going to be honest. Drew was getting a bit offense in, and then the Usos distracted him. Then Sami Zayn hit the Blue Thunderbomb, and I actually thought he may win because the Blue Thunderbomb's one of their moves. It doesn't matter how many times Sami Zayn's hit it, you think he still may win with that move, but I don't think he's ever won with it.
He's never won with it.
Yeah, it's insane. And then out of nowhere, he got absolutely blasted with the Claymore, and he ended up losing the match. I rated that 3 stars. I did enjoy it. It was match of the night. And then this ended up with Roman Reigns and the old clan beating down Drew, absolutely battering him. And then it ended with my favourite thing was you had the Tribal Chief and the Usos behind him doing that, and then Sami Zayn just appears out the nowhere, just broken, and he does the point as well, like he was meant to be in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all right, SmackDown. It just wasn't great, I'll be honest.
Did you see the state of Drew's back?
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram before I actually got to see why it happened.
He's carrying a legit back injury. It's one thing playing off it, but taking those shots when you got a legit back injury. I'm not worried kayfabe for him. I'm generally worried as a human being or someone with disc issues taking that many blows to the back.
Yeah, like it wasn't the greatest. Turn my light on nicely there for you all, so you can see my face a bit more.
Yay.
But yeah, you talk while I sort this situation. There we go. I'm done.
That is a situation. That's staying in as well.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. I like to add comedy value to this podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the end of SmackDown.
Yeah, not quite up there with previous weeks, but again, it didn't offend much.
Yeah, it was fine. It was like I've seen worse SmackDowns. We've reviewed probably about 40 worse SmackDowns. But yeah, it just was a bit average for me.
I just think these last 2 weeks they've focused too much on Clash. Obviously, with SmackDown this week taped as well. They've just thrown a show together that's passable. Yeah.
It wasn't that much different than Raw. There was some good matches as we were getting there, but it wasn't all this week. Let's carry on.
Yeah, let's just move on to Raw then, and we'll cover it. Raw.
So, it was Styles and Ziggler versus the good old Judgment Day, Finn and Damian Priest. This was back and forth for a lot of it as well. There's a weird Balor and Styles apron bump, which I don't think they didn't time it very well, and it just got really awkward. And then out of nowhere, this is my whole review of this match, Damian Priest hit a South of Heaven to pick up the win. It was good. I rated it 2 3/4. I've only wrote 3 notes, but I did enjoy it. I think I was too invested in enjoying it, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Again, it's good seeing Judgment Day treated seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, they're looking at the Titantron, and you see Edge's car pull up. And then they're just discussing the general stuff like the Judgment Day are going, what's going on, come down, blah, blah, blah. Edge comes down. He started doing these pants one-liners again, which are like teenage, jokey one-liners, and it was like... So he was obviously saying it's 3-on-1, and then out of nowhere, the Mysterios come from behind, because that's the team you want to help you. The Mysterios of Dominic and flipping Fingy, the ones that are getting battered by Rhea, let alone Finn, flipping Damian Priest. And then there's a weird... I really like this part, Rhea and Dominic in the ring, where Rhea's... she looked so angry and Fingy, but she's trying to be motherly. Come on, Dom. Come on. He's going to kill you as soon as you give you that. But yeah, I enjoyed that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just again Rhea looking like an absolute killer.
Yeah, and it's good. Triple H knows who the star is. So this was followed by Miz out backstage getting harassed by one of the announcers. I can't even think what you call them now, the backstage interview guys. But he won't discuss what happened with Dexter Lumis. He just continuously says he doesn't want to discuss it. We had the women's 6-man tag, which was the Bliss, Oscar, and Bianca versus, I think it was Kayla Sparks was one of them. I've not listed them down because my notepad's too small to care anymore.
Yeah. We were all given names, and they were actually given offense, and were able to take bumps and get back and forth.
It was Katie Arquette was the only one I'd seen before, because I think she had a squash match in AEW, and Danny Moe.
Danny Moe, I thought it was Demi Moe.
Yeah,
I've got my
Danny Moe. But yeah, so this was a bit of a showboating squash of a smash match. I rated it 1 1/4. Like, there was a bit better than a squash, but like it was still pretty much just a showboat of fun.
They were enhancement talent, but it wasn't the Mike Bell treatment.
Yeah,
they actually got to put some stuff in. And
which
commentators made a point of saying their names and saying who they are as well for it, which was nice.
Yeah, you could pick that up straight away as soon as like they're actually you're like, oh, they're actually not nobodies. And then obviously Bianca came on the mic afterwards, and she was just there was a few back and forth of like, y'all don't go here, because that's the funny line that they always mention now. Y'all don't go here. And then this random guy, I don't know if you picked this up, a random guy jumped the barrier.
So
in the background.
What that was for? So there was a guy in the front row with a "We don't want Botcha Banks, we want Naomi."
Yeah.
Now obviously they're still trying to get Banks and Naomi back. So Triple H actually sent that guy. So the one that hopped the barricade was a security guard who went to go and take that sign away.
Oh, okay.
Which is a really cool thing if you think about it, because it's obviously trying to keep them sweet, but even if it's not, like, just any kind of derogatory or horrible signs like that should be taken away anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's good of them to have jumped on that and acted on it so quick.
Good for them. I know what I was saying from that. I don't know where I'm. Yeah, so you don't go here. That happened, and then it was just pretty much hyping the Clash match. We had Miz and Pierce backstage. Miz don't want to talk about it. That's the main thing I took from that. Then Pierce announced that Loomis has been released, and the Miz was like, "Why?
Because
you clearly kidnapped me." And he went, "Yeah." And he went, "You won't talk about it. That's why." Next out the ring, we had good old Kurt Angle because he sucked. And then he's about to start chatting, and then out of nowhere, shoosh, which he's getting. I love it now.
Annoyed the life out of me.
Into me.
Yeah, annoyed the life out of me to begin with, but it's catching on.
Yeah, it's really fun. So basically, he was saying how similar Angle and Gabriel are. And again, he got his one-liners in, like, we both were at the Olympics and we both won stuff, and then but Angle went, but I won one with a broken freaking neck. So he was doing all his one-liners. Then the Profits came down, which my exact words were "fecking Profits." They need to let Montez Ford go to do his singles run.
And they've completely dropped any of the Ascension stuff.
And now they're just everywhere again. Like the Schlar, with Hit Row, they're with Angle. Why is Kurt Angle hanging around with the Street Profits? Why is this what they want to do? But yeah, so I didn't know until I watched the match to kind of skim forward a bit that the match stipulation was if he lost, then Angle was going to be in the Alpha Academy, which is hilarious because I wanted that to happen. So Profits versus the Academy. Dawkins did a few dives. Gable was in control of a lot of it, and they're pushing Gable to the moon, and I love it. Here, this is what I was on about with Ford. I ripped Profits off forever here. I was just like, they're just never going to leave. There was a few catches. There was ankle locks from both guys. They kept reversing the ankle locks, which were pretty fun. And then out of nowhere, this is the biggest shock I took from this. The Montez Ford splash won the match. The splash won the match. The match, the near fall machine of that splash, and he actually won a match with it. Like every match, near fall with that splash, and then he beat Gable with it. But yeah, very, very good match.
Celebrating after drinks with solo cup and he's
nearly dies. And then because it's Kurt, here's the milk. And then they had a weird...
Just before you move on to that, obviously he was chucking bottles of milk out to fans in the crowd, and he hit someone in the head with it. he went to chuck it to someone, and the lassie went to catch it and missed it. It come to the person on the head who was standing next to him.
They got hit by Kurt Angle. But yeah, they had a good... I like this about the Triple H reign. They have so many random things happen, like the Seth Rollins Riddle car park spot. which was just it was really nice. Just like they were both suddenly in the car park together, and they just go, "Hold on, what's happening?" And then they go, "Let's throw down again." So I did like that. And then this was followed by, I don't know if this went straight into it, if I've noted this wrong. I don't know if it went straight into the Seth Rollins. It went into the interview straight away, it did. So basically, Rollins was saying Riddle's an embarrassment. He's going to put him on the shelf like he did Cody. I thought he was going to mention about Orton being on the shelf as well, but they don't mention Orton that much now. And then he's going to go on to win the title. That's what he wants to do. He kind of wants to pass Riddle and goes on to beat the title. They're a bit of chatting back and forth, and then it kind of disappears. Then after the break, this is great. After the break, the commentators go, "This happened," and then out of nowhere, yeah, you're still there. Yeah, I can see why you divorced your bitch ass.
See, what I love about this is Seth completely dropped his maniacal laugh and
it's just normal deadpan.
Yeah, you want to talk about families?
Yeah.
Divorce your bitch ass, and then Riddle blows his lid. Like he's gonna fucking murder the man.
Right, he says, "I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yeah. It was great.
They would have got in trouble from USA for that, but 100% worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see they did the censoring of the mouth but not the words? Lashley versus The Miz came up next. So Lashley was in control for a lot of this. It was a bit of a meh match, I'm going to be honest, but it was more for the story based of it. So Miz was looking out in the audience, and then Loomis was just there.
Do you think he was actually there? Or do you think...
He's got to be, though, isn't he? Yeah, I don't think they're playing the kind of psychological... Yeah, and then Ciampa goes to point to Ciampa and going, he's there, but then he doesn't, and obviously Lashley whacks the Hurt Lock on to pit the win. Rated 2.25 stars, it was alright, but it was just more about the story more than anything. So that was that point of that. And then followed by that, let's move to the next page. We had Edge and Angle backstage, so they did a bit of throwback to the good old, here's a picture with you stuck on the back. It was previously, wasn't it, years ago?
Yeah.
And it was just a throwback of that. Then
it had no right to be as heartwarming as it was, because obviously the first thing Angle did was check the first one to see if there was anything on it, and there wasn't. So,
and then he just believed him, it was fine. And then the last one,
sorry I shaved your head bald, sorry I started to use such it was all actually really nice stuff.
And then Angle sees it when he shows it, and he just goes, "Oh, he got me again." And then Rey Mysterio has dropped his son as a tag team partner to have Edge, which I'm fine with. Tom, we don't need you.
He's basically is what happened. Turning on them at Clash. 100%
That's why he's got a mohawk. That's why he's got a mullet now. That's the most flipping heel thing I've ever seen in my life. Dominic with a mullet. And then he's going to make out with Rhea, and I'm going to be weirded out. That's what we're going to learn from this.
It's not going to happen, no. If anything, he'll be like her, little puppy.
Yeah. If anything's cursed today, that is it.
Bloodline up next. They were hyping the SmackDown kind of thing. And then Sammy was sucking up to them, obviously, of what just happened. KO comes down, kind of like announcing this. And then Jay does the good old, "This your boy?" And then Sammy was like, "Well, yeah, kind of is my boy." When he went, "Well, you better pipe down." Yeah, he's going to get his ass kicked. This was followed by Jay versus KO, which was my match of the night. I really enjoyed it.
I love what kicked it off is Owens just walked up to him and said, "I guess this is the point where we throw the mics down, get a ref out here and just wrestle."
Really hard hitting contest. KO got Samoan the Samoan drop onto some stairs. Really back and forth. There was loads of few near falls into the match, and then out of nowhere, Jimmy distracts the ref, and he gives Sammy to the chair to hit KO, but Sammy won't hit him, and obviously this ends up with KO hitting a stunner on Jay to pick up the win. And I really liked the tweet after this. Did you see the Sami Zayn tweet about why he didn't hit him with the chair?
No,
He said the reason he didn't hit him with the chair was because he thought that the ref could see it in his periphery and he didn't want him to get him disqualified.
Oh, like during the match, he was saying in the post match, he was saying out loud to them, "The ref's looking right at me."
Yeah.
So,
but if it was AEW, Aubrey would be flipping. Yeah.
She wouldn't even be in the ring.
I'm really hoping for like a Sammy face turn and having Kevin Owens feuding with the Usos for the tag titles.
I want a one-time only El Generico mask. That's what I want. I want him to come back from the orphanage. That's what I really want. And followed by this, we had the usual Control segment. They're lifting the division. They're going to take over, and they're obviously going to be the new Jag champs. This was followed by Miz walking to his car. My favourite part of this whole segment was that Ciampa's got glitter on. Why has Ciampa got glitter on?
It's not explained. It's not explained. He just even
Miz went glitter. Really?
And Ciampa just shrugs. Mate. I love it. It was just
Miz gets into his car and drives up, and then weirdly enough, there's just a light in the back, and Loomis is in his car. Yeah, so that was fun. Then we had a bit of a Gargano segment where he was just saying Theory is like family.
Who? And you'll find it's Austin Theory again.
I don't know. It wasn't mentioned at that point. It was mentioned afterwards. So at this point, he's Theory to me. That's so Theory. And then they're going to have a match at some point. That's what they're hinting towards.
I'm glad they didn't hotshot this onto Clash. They're giving the feud time to breathe.
It probably gives it time to, if they're probably not going to be anywhere near Clash, to be on Raw and kind of have a big match maybe or something like that. And then the match of the night, Aaliyah and Raquel versus the Control. This was pants. This matchup. I don't mind the winner. I don't really care that Aaliyah and Raquel won it. I just didn't like the match.
Yeah, so about the win, obviously, again, blind tag, it's all the women's division seems to know how to... Sorry, the women's tag division seems to know how to do a finish. But my one shred of hope I'm holding on to is the fact that Aaliyah pinned Dakota, who wasn't legal.
Yeah.
So... They Control have a legitimate gripe.
A viable reason, yeah.
And they run it back and Control win it.
Yeah, I didn't mind them winning. It was just the match was a bit pants. I'm going to be honest, after a big tournament like this, and then the four-way match on SmackDown was pants. The match they won the match was a bit pants because she destroyed two people, and then this match was the pants. So it's kind of this is the one thing that's been a bit pants in the old Triple H regime so far.
You want to know what upsets me is the fact that Aaliyah has held a main roster title before Shayna Baszler.
Yes, and I understand why, because Aaliyah is money. I don't know what your argument is. Talk to me.
I think it speaks for itself, but
it's outrageous that you don't think Aaliyah is money.
They've managed to give the Control a loss without giving them a loss. That's a good thing, I think. Even if it's a bit backwards the way they've done it.
But yeah, my whole review of that main event, I'm not really. It was just a bit pants, and Aaliyah actually picked up the win.
Oh wow!
Raw.
Was it even?
What is it good for? Yeah, it was. Yeah, but yeah, that was the end of Raw, and that was the end of WWE. And that was the end of the week. For me.
I can't believe that main event in Raw. I mean, I get it because it was the women's tag title match and whatever, but
give them pyro and confetti.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, it was just a wee bit.
Yeah. The match itself wasn't very good, and then it was just like a damp squib ending, wasn't it?
Yeah, awful.
Yeah. Oh well, we move.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Well. I didn't hate it, so that's a good start. Although the first segment is as good as the first segment was, with Punk giving his what looked like a retirement speech, then Ace Steel coming down and talking him round and really firing him up.
Are you just skipping over the Moxley open contract bit It's that.
Yeah, edit that bit out. Sorry.
I got over a lot of stuff according to me.
Yeah, no. And mate, I've even got notes, but the only thing I didn't have noted down was the opening segment.
You did it right.
I've missed like the whole thing. Oh shit! Right.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I've even missed the first match, and I love the first match.
He did it right. I love it.
We'll just pretend that did not happen.
That's staying
in.
Oh wow!
At least it wasn't last week you were reviewing, though. That could be worse. You could have been reviewing last week and saying it was this week.
Yeah, I wanted to put the show in the order I wanted it to be casted.
Save there. That's nice save, yeah.
So yes, Dynamite. Jon Moxley comes out, cuts a decent promo. He's basically beaten CM Punk, done what he needs to do, and now he's going to give a contract to anyone who wants to come and get this contract. And he just launches it on the floor, and he's just like, fight me for it. So then Ace Steel comes down. Go on.
What I don't get about this is the second that contract hit the mat, they should have been rushing out like it was a 24/7 title chase.
Yeah.
Why did no one come out to get a world title shot?
Moxley is scary.
And then it's an agent who comes out, or CM Punk's friend, as we came to learn as Ace Steel comes down the ramp. I feel like they said that too soon. I feel like they could have waited for the other segment that I've already spoke about. But yeah, they could have waited for that. But yeah, he just comes down and gets the contract, and then obviously the commentators are like, well, that's Ace Steel. He's a close friend of CM Punk. And then instantly you sort of give up the jig, aren't you? Because you know what's going to happen. But yeah, we moved on. But it was a good promo from Moxley. Excalibur runs down the card, doing Excalibur things as he always does. And then we've got Schiavone talking to Jericho about his match with Daniel Bryan. And it's just sort of alluding to Daniel Garcia a little bit as well. And putting over the match that they're going to have Sunday, which I'm actually quite looking forward to. I think Jericho and Danielson could be a really good match. Mm-hmm. Which leads into Danielson having a really good match with Jake Hager that I totally wasn't expecting when I first saw them stroll down to the ring. The fact that Bryan Danielson's managed to drag this match out of Jake Hager still befuddles me.
Don't get me wrong.
Still doing Yeah,
don't get me wrong, there were still points where I thought Hager is like blowing up and he's posing to try and get his breath back, but
he's
he's a conditioned like MMA fighter, isn't he? So he's used to like 3 5-minute rounds maybe. But this is like Bryan Danielson's going at you constantly. But to be fair, he made Hager look really good for the first like 5 minutes of the match. Hager, which is what you'd expect from an actual fighter, was fighting Bryan Danielson. And it's this is it. And he smashed him for the first few minutes, and then Bryan took over because his conditioning's a little bit better. It just became a really good match. Bryan gets his hope spot where he does the double-footed drop kick off the top rope, and that's where Bryan starts to take over. It starts going a little bit more technical, and that's where he gets Hager out of his depth. And he locks in the label lock, which Hager's just massive, so he was always going to reach the rope, which I thought was a really good spot. And the commentary was really good with Regal and Jericho as well, because they weren't like shitting on each other. They were being really respectful at the same time, and making sure that the match for Sunday.
Of them.
Yeah. I mean that's overkill. That's overkill. But yeah, they made sure that it was the match was built for Sunday, and obviously we got the right winner in the end, which was Danielson hitting the running knee. I think he hit the running knee there. Oh, I'm sorry, I've completely skipped over my notes. Yeah, he hits a running knee for the pin. I thought he'd submitted him. In my head, then I had the submission in my head. But no, he hit him with the running knee and pinned him. And I thought it was a good ending. And then, obviously, it all breaks down. Jazz come down, start beating up Bryan. Combat Club come down, run them off. And then Jericho runs down with a steel chair, gets in the ring, about to nail Bryan. Garcia grabs a chair from him, takes it away, and then he's just like, what are you doing? Turns around, nailed with the running knee. And yeah, I just thought it was really good. And Brian Walker gets out of the ring and he's just like, "Yep, cheers, mate," and just wanders off. It was just, yeah, I thought it was a really good match, though. Solid match.
Yeah, and the post-match stuff was well done as well, because it was done in a way, because Jericho was talking about like how he's going to beat Brian, and then backstage Garcia's telling him, yeah, you can do it without heel tactics, you can do it without hits from behind, chair shots. So he was just like basically stopping Jericho from doing that. He wasn't helping Brian.
Yeah.
No.
Like, so he's got that kind of justification there. It's really well done.
Yeah. Well, that led into the strangest segment of the night, because I was really baffled by this, because we have the wingmen in the ring, and they are moaning. They're moaning about not being booked on TV, which is just ironic in itself. But obviously, this is just purely to get WM Morrissey over, because, and I haven't seen this guy for ages. What a beast! I was like, is this the same guy? Is this Big Cass? He is huge! And he comes down and he just wipes them all out. And then Stokely comes down, gives him his business card, and apparently that's a thing. I'm interested to see where it goes, because he's an absolute machine.
I heard
he looks good.
I heard one theory that Stokely's acting for MJF so that when MJF comes back, he's got a new stable, which I thought was a terrible idea to begin with, because it's the ass boys and baddies.
Yeah.
It wasn't Lee Moriarty. It wasn't a great group, but now he's added Morrissey. He's added Ethan Page, so it's looking a bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I always I'd liken it with the MJF thing to him having Wardlow when he had Wardlow, and then he's going to have Morrissey, who's basically Wardlow. But he looks so good, so I'm happy to see him back. So that was really good. And then Schiavone stops him halfway up the ramp. The most random thing in the world, because he just grabs him and he shakes him. Stokely does, and I'm like, what's the point in this? I'm not going to talk about why I'm giving out these business cards. I think it's pretty obvious why he's giving them out, Tony. What a dumb question.
No,
I cheat you as well.
I really appreciate the fact, though, when he said it's none of your business. He's like, no, this is a wrestling show. It's everyone's business. He's right.
Yeah. I mean, that was funny, but I just thought the question originally was dumb.
Yeah.
Go on.
That's Papi Corbin. Yeah, it's just him, though, isn't it? Everything he does is pretty much the wacky, why is this happening now, Tony Giovanni?
Yeah. It just, I don't know. It's just so random sometimes. I never realised how bad Schiavone's haircut was, by the way, until he turned around on camera and I was like, what is on his head?
I can't say anything.
Yeah, but yours is for a reason. There is an actual reason for yours. He's just, I don't know. He must be having a midlife crisis. But yeah, so we cut to the back and we get a United Empire interview, which is Will Ospreay starting to talk, which I'm really, really interested in. And then Don Callis just comes in and ruins it.
Bro.
I mean, he built it. I know why he was there, but I just don't like Don Callis. I totally understand why it happened the way it did. It always makes me laugh on an American show when Will Ospreay's turning around and calling him bruv. just go away, bruv. But yeah, Don Callis is basically saying, Omega's this, but you're really good as well, Will Ospreay. You're all right. You're still one of the best wrestlers in the world, but you're not as good as Omega. Which is basically all we got out of the segment. It didn't really build the match. I think the match is already billed as the Young Bucks and the other guys, Fletcher and Davis, are just sort of there. It's more around Ospreay and Omega, even though it's in the 6-man tournament. I just thought it was very, very strange. They should just do the one-on-one. That's what I want.
I think they're saving that for Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, they've built it that much now on TV over the last few weeks that I don't want to wait till January. It's 4 months.
Could I have to?
Yeah. No, it looks like it, but I mean, we got a decent preview in the main event, which we'll come to. So, But then we had the Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter with Rebel eventually, because even that was announced, against Toni Storm and Shida. I actually didn't mind this match so much. Started off pretty slow, and then it just built into everyone getting the stuff in. But it was the ending of the match that I really, really enjoyed. It's like the match was just there, but then the ending was so good. Like Shida, Britt Baker went for got the glove off Rebel, and Shida drop kicked her, and then sort of like slid out of the ring, sort of off camera, and then comes round the side, and you just see her go past Rebel and take Hayter off the side. She takes Hayter down, and then oh my god, I forgot what the other woman's called. Why is my head so blank? Toni Storm comes into the ring. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Mind blank. But yeah, Toni Storm comes into the ring, knocks Baker down, and then comes to the outside, but does like a twisting DDT to the floor. Shida goes back into the ring and kicks Britt Baker in the face, and the match is over. But I just thought it was so inventive the way to get to it. And Toni Storm hit that DDT so well.
The match served perfectly the purpose of making you think any one of those four could win it.
Yep.
6 months ago, I even made fun of Rate a little bit for this, that Hayter wasn't a realistic contender. I actually think she could win on Sunday.
I think she will win. I actually think that's to give prediction spoilers, but I'm picking Hayter.
Yeah,
they did the good spot where she suplexed both of them, which just displayed her power, and I think they did a very good job of getting her power displayed in this match.
And faces won here, so it stands to reason a heel wins in that match. A heel took the pin, so it's the other heel.
Yeah, it was great. And then we come to the segment that I wanted to open the show. Yeah, it was. Oh no, sorry, I have skipped over Kip Sabian.
Oh god.
Yeah, we got the video. I don't really care for Kip Sabian too much. Don't understand why he's getting this All Atlantic title match with Pac. Don't know why it's on the pay-per-view. I just don't care about Kip Sabian.
It's because he's not been on Dynamite enough to give us a reason to. He's
he's getting a title
elevation mainstay.
Because he's in Pac's head. He's in Pac's head with his box. That's what I took from it.
Yeah, no, I just don't understand it. Like, I don't even think he's that good. Like, in the ring. I don't see it. He's passable, but he's not. If he's not someone who should be going after a title for me. And then we get the Miro video, which is actually very, very good. And then he gets Darby Allin and Sting coming in, and they're just basically saying that King and Matthews shouldn't be with Black, and basically they're just going to beat him. And on Sunday, it's on. I think it served its purpose.
After Miro gets the victory, do you think he turns on Sting and Darby?
Yeah, probably.
My question is, how are they going to get out of the void? That's what I'm. How did Darby get in the void, and now they're bringing him Miro out of the void?
But yes, then we come back to the ring, and here comes CM Punk for his retirement speech, part 2. Because
part 20.
He basically says that he's run down. He doesn't know if he's done the right thing. He feels like he's letting people down. He's let Chicago down. He's let his sister who sits in the front row down. Then he looks like he's about to cry. And then Ace Steel comes out again, because we need more Ace Steel on this show. But to be fair, this was great. He absolutely tore into him. He was like, I trained you. And then he drops an F-bomb, which I thought was like mint. I was just like,
remember who the fuck you are.
The story came out. The story came out, didn't it? I don't know if this is true or not, but a story broke last week saying that they've been told to tone down the swearing on the show.
Yeah.
And then he just comes out and drops an F-bomb, and it's like, so if they actually were told to, this is great.
So apparently that was a quote from the all hands meeting that was taken out of context.
Right. Okay.
It was basically the guys being told, be careful where you're swearing or you'll incur the wrath of the network. It wasn't like an edict.
A network directive.
Yeah.
Well, if it was, he'd fecked it, and if it wasn't, he's probably fecked it. But yeah, it was just so good that he got Punk fired up, and he gives him this contract. He's like, "You are going to sign this contract and take this match." And then Punk goes on his massive rant saying, "Moxley's going to get this. Moxley's going to get it. I am going to sign this contract." But the thing that bothered me the most about it is that he had a pen in his pocket. Like, he didn't take this pen off Ace Steel. He had the pen in his pocket. So he was always going to sign it. And it just, for me, it just took away from the segment a little bit.
Man carries a pen around, he's prepared. You know, he might have been signing his termination contract.
Who doesn't carry a pen? Who doesn't carry a pen?
Me. Yeah. I do not carry a pen.
There you go. You're part of the problem, Squire.
Yeah, you're a Moxley, you are. That's what it is. You're not a Punk, you're a Moxley.
No, I am in this match. Yeah, I want Moxley to win now, but he's not going to. But yeah, it's just the whole thing is a bit weird.
Just forget last week that happened. It's the way I'm looking at it. I'm just washing my hands of last week, pretending it didn't happen.
But you can't.
I know.
And it will be mentioned in the match continuously.
Yeah. I know, and I'll ignore that. I'll
You
try.
might as well just go, this is fine.
And essentially, I want to believe.
Yeah. No, so do I. Just wish they could have done this, but a different way. There was a way to get to this.
They could have even had
without having a 2-minute squash.
Yeah, they could have even had a beatdown angle where Punk gets kind of stretchered out or whatever.
Yeah, and they could have just said, well, Punk feels like he's let everyone down, he's not going to be fit enough for All Out, and then you do the Ace Steel thing, and you're off to the races.
Even if this was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, see when he first came back, like, if they'd had the match that night, and he's got like 3 or 4 weeks to recover somewhat from it.
Yeah.
But it's been effectively hot-shotted between one Dynamite booking, which almost fixed it, but it hasn't quite.
Yeah, it's like 11 or 12 days between the matches, which isn't long enough. But yeah, it is what it is. We're getting the match. It's going to be better than the squash. So yeah, I'll look forward to it for what it is, but I'm not overly interested at the same time. Speaking of stuff that I'm not really interested in, and purely because I think that the segment itself wasn't given long enough. I feel like we were just shown snippets and there was more to it. Was Jungle Boy and Christian sitting down with JR?
Oh, his pants, wasn't it?
No, yeah, it's like I expected it to get like 5 or 6 minutes and you get like both of them full on trash talking. It felt like they just clipped it and put it together just for they both had tidbits and it lasted
Austin
like a minute
and Rock at Mania 17 where I need to beat you, Rock. This was not.
Yeah.
Precisely.
They've also changed Jungle Boy by being a crazed maniac to go, I loved you, Christian. I really loved you. And it's like,
and he's already had his revenge.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. They tried to get it more over that he wasn't facing Jungle Boy, he was facing Jack Perry, and it was going to be a fight.
That's purely
which I
so
think
JR can stop getting his name wrong.
Yeah, well, I said a couple of weeks ago, didn't I, that I wanted him to stop being called Jungle Boy so I could take him seriously. So I hope he goes by Jack Perry, and I hope it's a thing going forward. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I just think it needed a little bit more. Which brought us on to FTR and Wardlow against, and I did get these names somewhere, because I was very, very confused like you were earlier on, right, as to who people were in this match. And I think we had in this match Vic Capri, Silas Young, and Red Jones.
You're going to break Buzz's heart by not knowing who Silas Young was.
I didn't know. I did know who he was. The only one when the commentary said his name. I was like, oh, I know him. But yeah, the other two, not overly familiar with. Didn't need to be overly familiar with neither, because this started off as Wardlow smashing Red Jones. Then he tagged in Cash, who then smashed Red Jones. And then he tagged in Dax, who smashed Red Jones. And then it all sort of broke down. They smashed them all out. Wardlow powerbomb. Then he picks him up again. Assisted powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. That's all it needed. Wardlow smash. FTR smash. Win. Done.
You like how they didn't bury Stylish Young either? Like the one, they didn't bury him at all. They kind of like, we'll just knock him off the apron. We just needed a third guy.
Yeah. It served its purpose. It got the three of them over, and I can't see how the three of them are going to lose at the weekend. And then we cut to a break, and Moxley comes back because we need more of this. But he does cut a good promo. He said if he wants to go out on his shield in front of everyone there in his hometown, then Moxley will let him do that. And he's basically just going to end him, which I thought was fair, and I hope he does.
If it ends with a neck snap, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And he got the wrestling equivalent of the stage hook as well when his music played while he was still mid promo.
Yeah, he was about to say something, weren't it?
I don't even mind with I don't mind Moxley's music neither. It doesn't fit him at all, but I love it. I just don't think the wild thing as a theme. I get what they're going for. I just don't think the theme works, but I still like it. So yeah, then we moved on to Shivani in the back with the Dark Order. 10 is injured, and then Evil Uno has got a plan to replace Tan in the match. Tan? Why am I saying Tan? 10 in the match. And then Andrade and his little mate walk in, offer him money. He says, if you take off your mask, put on a suit, and then Evil Uno's like, whoa, I think you need to take your money and get out.
To be fair, he was sitting counting it, he nearly took it. It wasn't until he said, take off the mask.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, take your money back. And then it was really, really weird, but he hits Evil Uno with the crutch, and then the guy sort of, he has a taser, but it doesn't look... Yeah, but it doesn't look like it works. He tases him, but he doesn't move. He doesn't act like he's been tased. I don't know if he was
threatening him with it. I don't know if he actually tased him. He was threatening that he had a taser and he was close to him. I'm hoping it's
I'm hoping then that he didn't tase him, but it felt like it should have been a taser, but it was probably like an electric razor blade that he used that made the noise.
It should have been closer. I remember the Scott Hall cattle prod that he used on Goldberg. Yeah. Should have been like that.
Yeah, it should have been. But yeah, that led into the Fatal 4-Way match. Now, I tried to take notes on this, but it was absolute carnage. There was a lot going on. Yeah, it was loads of flips. There was people getting the best of everyone. Everyone got the stuff in. But right at the start, it was just like, I'm going to flip out, and then he's on the floor, and then I'm going to flip onto them two, and then I'm going to flip onto them three, and then he's going to break down into the ring, and then I'm going to flip out again. They're all impressive athletes, and it's very, very impressive. It's just not for me.
And I am noticing a trend at every single Rey Fenix match. When they come back from commercial, he's got to be on the top rope for a spot.
Yeah.
Every single Fenix match is on TV. When they come back from commercial, he'll be in and around the corner, on the ropes.
What I really enjoyed about this, though, was that Roosh looked great.
Oh, yeah, Roosh looks like a badass.
Roosh looks so good. And I was like, yeah, they've made me believe Roosh. Because I feel like in some of the matches, they've showcased him, but not as well as they did here. But I feel like they got the right winner as well when Yuta won the match. Which, to be fair, wasn't even a bad ending. He trapped him in what they called a seatbelt pin. And it was like, yeah, you can't kick out of that. There's literally no way you can get out of it. They did a bit of a roll through him and Dante Martin, and then he just ended up in a position that you just thought, yeah, you're not kicking out of that. And I thought it was an inventive ending. And they made, like I said, Roosh look so good. But yeah, I don't think Yuta's going to win the Casino Battle Royal. I hope it's Roosh going off this performance, if I'm being honest.
It'll be the Joker. It's always the Joker.
Yeah. And then we go into the backstage segment where Dark Order are like, well, we've got no partner. And obviously Adam Page is going to now step in. So Rampage on Friday, the ending of that match is sort of dead now because we know what's happening.
The ending of the main event is dead now.
Yeah.
It's going to be Omega and the Bucks against Hangman.
Yeah.
Which was always going to be the thing when you saw Dark Order on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah. Yeah. So are we thinking Hangman's going to turn and align with Omega and the Bucks?
No, because they're all faces. It's going to be a respect. But I think Hangman's doubting himself.
Like pants match, I'm going to be honest. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great. I just think we're going to end up with Paige on the other side. I don't think he'll stick with the Dark Order.
No,
He's passing away.
No,
I know what you mean. That's right.
No, I think it'll be Paige's self-doubt will creep in again about like being able to really go after the Bucks. They'll get caught in a pin or something.
Yeah. Well, that moved on to a lot of matches announced by Excalibur, because why not?
Christ.
It's so many. Like, he did Dynamite and then he ran down the entire pay-per-view.
Oh, wow, it's too much. It's too much.
What is it, 13 matches, is it?
Yeah,
fucking
4
more
of
than
which
that,
are on the
like
buy-in.
Jesus.
4 on the buy-in.
I thought it was 13 main show and then 4 on the buy-in, I'll be honest. But
I think it's 9 in the main show and 4 in the buy-in.
The only thing I really took notice of was Ishii and Kingston.
Yeah, they pulled Sammy from it.
Yeah, purely because of that. That's the only reason I really paid any attention to what was on the buy-in.
There's 11 on the main show,
and 4
according
on the buy-in.
to... Yeah.
So there's 15 matches.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, then we have the main event, the trios match, which I thought was going to be worse than it is. I actually really enjoyed it, and I don't enjoy Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Everyone will know this already if they watch the show. I am not a fan of these guys, but this match was great. And I think I was already into the match at the start when Kenny Omega's entrance was so good. Because I don't mind his theme anyway. I just think he's got good music and it suits him. But Justin Roberts introducing him as like, he's sold out more merch than Will Ospreay. He's done this better than Will Ospreay. And I'm like, they're just making me want to see Omega and Ospreay. But it's great.
Yeah, my only thing is with it was fun for when he came back. It was okay here, but to do it again, it's diminishing returns.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I just really enjoyed it as an entrance. I thought it was really good. But yeah, we get them, which I was very surprised at, but they started the match. Omega and Ospreay. And the basic story of the match was Omega's still very injured. Ospreay wants to rip his face off. Even if he's wrestling someone else, he's still going for Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Because they were beating him down for a prolonged period, the Bucks were, and they were having the tags in between them and leaving Kenny out. And then as soon as Ospreay got a bit of hope, he would then go for Omega, whether he was a legal man or not. Which is just... like, it plays into the story really well. And like you said, we're probably going to get the match in 4 months, which is pretty annoying. But there was a lot of good spots in the match. They took it up to the ramp. A lot of diving, which is usually a Young Bucks match. And then they eventually come back to the ring. I remember looking at the clock where on the feed I was watching Dynamite on when the match started and thinking this is going to go for 25 minutes. How am I not going to hate it? And it's because they didn't do as many dives as they usually do. There was a few in. I think Ospreay did one where he thought he was going to land on Omega quite far into the match, and he sort of backflips over the ring, stops. He's like, I've not hit anyone, and Omega gets him in the... where he suplexes him straight onto the back of his head on the floor. Yeah. I thought that was really good. And then we get the super kick party that we always get in a Young Bucks match. But it wasn't just the Bucks and Omega doing it. They were getting hit with them as well. Excalibur was really annoying me that he was calling Ospreay Fletcher, and he did it more than
he kept
once.
doing it so much. It's because they've got the same hair now. That's what
Yeah, but like I've said this before. Sometimes I can't tell the Bucks apart, and I can't tell the Usos apart as well. But they're twins. Like pretty well, the Bucks aren't twins, but they look very alike. The Usos are twins, so I'm allowed to get that wrong. Ospreay and Fletcher are not twins. And yeah, and it was just maybe I'm just picking on Excalibur, but
you should.
We get the ending of the match was 3-way super kick, and Omega picks up, he hits the V trigger, comes back up, hits the one-winged angel, and that's the end of the match. But overall, the match was great. I haven't got any big complaints about it. I would probably rate this in the 4-star realm.
I do have a small complaint, and it's AEW referees being AEW referees again. They were all 6 of them brawling on the outside for at least 3 minutes, and not a hint of a referee count.
Yeah.
Wrestling. AEW wrestling, everyone was in the ring 55 times, but no one gave a shit.
Even if you're using the BS excuse that they sometimes try to fall back on, that it's 20 seconds and not 10, even though they constantly try and get back in the ring at 10, not 20. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were outside for at least 3 minutes.
And more importantly, he forgot one major bit of this match. BattleBot.
Probably didn't.
That's what you mean. BattleBot. That's what I need to know about in every main event. BattleBot. And DraftKings.
Yeah, it was because of the feed I watched it on, it wasn't like the picture-in-picture wasn't picture-in-picture. They kept saying it was picture-in-picture and stuff like that, and then they come back from a break. But it was it's Excalibur in it, you know.
It's BattleBot.
Yeah, it's like. And by the way, that was a really amazing move. But yeah, they've sold me on the Omega Ospreay match. I really want to see it. And Ospreay looks absolutely fuming at the end, sat on the ramp, which I was glad we got a shot of that to show how fuming he was, and he never took his eyes off Omega once.
Yeah.
So that was Dynamite.
That was pretty much the downfall, because that's when he got caught with from kicks and put out of the ring, because he kept going for Omega one too many times. Yeah. It got him out of the way, and that left Fletcher to take the rest of it.
Yeah.
So
Fletcher took punishment in this match. But yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it, and like I said, I'd rate that in the 4-star realm, and I don't like them, so.
So yeah, that was Dynamite. So as I said, didn't annoy me this week, which is a big improvement. So hopefully that's Dynamite back to its normal level again.
Yeah.
So that was wrestling. Obviously, check out our B-Show if you're looking for NXT and Rampage. Our socials are in the description, so follow us on Twitter, join our Discord so you can chat crap with us in the servers about football, about wrestling, just life in general. We've even got a vent room where you can be an old man shouting at clouds and get things off your chest. We've got all sorts. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, do the usual stuff. Let us know what you thought of the shows in the comments. And yeah, plan is for next week. If the guys are cool with this, we'll probably not do a news episode on Tuesday, because I plan on putting a live vlog out from our experience down at Clash. We have a very full docket for the next week or so, because we've also got a few more of DP's independent show reviews that'll be on the channel over the next week or so. So yeah, keep watching, we'll keep the videos coming. But that is all for this week, so thank you all for joining us. Take care, and see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.
Jeanette, yeah.